I've been testing the new iPhone 16 Pro for 1 week now, and here are the good, the bad, and the great about the phone. And let's start off the good section by talking about how thin the bezels are. That was one of the main selling points of the 16 Pros, and they can definitely brag about it because when you pick up this phone for the first time and you notice how small the bezels are, it makes it feel like it's a futuristic phone. I had just come from the 15 Pro Max to the 16 Pro and I'm like, wow, those bezels are really thin. It just makes the phone, overall experience using the phone, way better and way seamless when you're just picking it up and using it day to day. Now, the second part of the design I want to talk about is the phone got slightly bigger this year. Both the Pro and the Pro Max got slightly bigger. I had come from a 15 Pro Max, so the big size, to the 16 Pro, and this didn't feel like a downgrade because it got slightly bigger. So it didn't feel too much of a downgrade. I was already used to it almost immediately as soon as I began to use it. Now, the third thing I want to talk about in the good section is you can now record in 120 frames per second 4K. And I think that's a very cool feature because it allows you to record, let's say, for example, me shooting a basketball. I can make it so I can slow it down a lot, but then I can also customize where I want it to speed up and slow down. It makes it so it's overall, I can just record in 120 frames per second without having to worry about the speed, and then I can go back and fix it to make it look, well, like this. So, as you can see, I could slow it down and speed it up wherever I wanted. But the reason it's in the good section is because I don't think I'm going to be using this feature a lot. When I do use it, it's a great feature. It works very well. But it's in the good section because I don't feel like I'm going to be using it overall that much. Next, let's talk about the bad parts of the phone. So, the first part of the bad section is, for me, the battery life. And yes, I know the 16 Pro is supposed to have great battery life, but for me personally, it has drained a lot faster than what I was expecting. Now, this might be because I got the 15 Pro Max last year and now I switched to the 16 Pro, so the overall battery capacity went down a lot, but still, I feel like it shouldn't be draining this fast. Now, I will give it a little slack because it is the first week and it might not be optimized for my overall usage of the phone. But still, I hope this gets better overall in the long term. The second part of the bad section of this phone is actually the Apple Intelligence. Now, let me explain myself a little bit here. The Apple Intelligence, when I do use it, works really well. The writing tools, the erase tool when I take pictures and want to get rid of something, all of those work really well. But the reason I put it in the bad section is because Apple is saying that these new phones are built around the Apple Intelligence. But at the moment, it's in beta, so I'm on iOS 18.1 beta, and that's the only reason I have these updates. So I don't think Apple should be announcing Apple Intelligence or advertising with the 16 Apple Intelligence if it's not even on the phone at launch. They say the updates for the Apple Intelligence will be coming out in October, and the phones came out in September, so they shouldn't be bragging as much as they should for Apple Intelligence if it's not even on the phone yet. So that's why I put Apple Intelligence in the bad section. I don't think it's bad when you use it. I think it's bad that they're advertising when it's not even out yet. Alright, enough ranting about the bad stuff. Let's talk about the great parts of this phone. So, the first great part of this phone is the 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Now, this was one of the main selling points of the 16 Pro and Pro Max, the 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera, and when I've used it, it's been amazing. I love taking macro shots, and this new 48 megapixel allows me to get super close to stuff with great quality. I just love this camera. It allows for me to take wide landscape pictures with great quality because of the 48 megapixel. Overall, the 48 megapixel ultra wide, I can see myself using this a lot, and it just makes the experience of taking pictures with the ultra wide way better. This next part of the great section, a lot of people will disagree with me, and I think the camera control button is a great feature of this phone. Now, let me explain why. So, me personally, I love using my camera. I love taking pictures. I love zooming in on stuff. It's just fun to take pictures. And so, because this new button is, for me personally, positioned in a great spot for me to take pictures or zoom in or video, I think it is a great feature. It makes it so much easier to open the camera, take it, and using the shutter button, and zooming in, changing the focus, aperture, all of that. Just makes it a lot easier to take pictures. Now, a lot of people don't like it because it's not positioned in the right spot, so when you put it like this, it should be more right here, and when you hold it like this, it's way too low. But for me, it's in a great spot for both this and this. So for me personally, the camera control button on the iPhone 16 Pro, great feature. The third part of the great section for me is the photographic styles, and I really like this feature because it allows me to make each photo I take unique. So they don't all look the same. I can change it to be extra gold if I want, extra vibrant, all black and white, extra dramatic. It just makes it so one picture could turn into so many different options because I could just change the photographic style of it. Allows for so many different possibilities when you take with one picture, and it allows for all your other pictures to look very unique. The final part of the great section for me is the A18 Pro chip inside this phone. For me personally, I don't do too many power intensive tasks on my phone, but with this new chip, when I do those, it makes it so it's fast and it doesn't get nearly as hot as my 15 Pro Max did. That phone got hot when just doing simple tasks. I don't know why. But this phone, it does all my pro intensive tasks really fast without getting hot. But then when I do my standard, just everyday tasks, super fast. I don't even have to worry about lag, waiting times. It does it almost instantly without getting hot at all. It just stays very cool. So the A18 Pro chip inside, very good part of this phone. Really makes the day-to-day life using your phone way better. So after all of that, do I think this iPhone 16 Pro is really a pro phone? And should you buy it? Well, I say yes to the pro part because not only does it have really good cameras now, it has the photographic styles, a new button that allows you to take pictures way faster, mediocre battery life, but I'm hoping that gets better, a very powerful chip inside of it, and an overall very good looking desert titanium design. So all of those features make this phone feel very pro, but there's a big but here. If you're on a 15 Pro Max or a 14 Pro Max, there's almost no need to update because there's only going to be a little bit of better features from the 14 Pro Max and especially the 15 Pro Max. So if you're on one of those phones, probably no need to upgrade unless you want the camera control, photographic styles, better chip. But if you're on any phones after that, so the 13, 12, 11, 10, you should definitely upgrade because you're going to see so many better updates and overall just better lifestyle choices on this phone that you wouldn't have gotten on the other phone. So depends on what phone you have if you should get it. But overall, I'll give this phone a 8.5 out of 10 because this phone has been really good so far. So that concludes today's Tech and Gadgets for You video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope that was helpful. If you did enjoy, then leave a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!